Hi and welcome. In this video, we are going to learn how to use common HTTP methods to create simple APIs. Now, some of the methods that we're going to use include put, get, patch, post, but you'll realize that the commonly used operations are create, read, update, and delete. So these operations are commonly known as CRUD operations, and we are going to look into these four operations using Spring Boot. So let's get into it. I'm here on IntelliJ. I've created this project. As you can see from the left side, I've created different packages, one called application and underneath it request. So don't worry about that. We are going to dive in deep into the request one. But first, let's take a look at the controller. So this is the controller class. And now what we are going to do is that we are going to create different methods which are going to either create a book, update a book, or even retrieve details of a book. Just to mention, in this video we are not going to go into details of saving the book, but I'm just going to cover the methods part, or rather the HTTP methods part. And next time I'm going to cover how now you can transfer this data that you get from this layer, which we call controller layer, all the way to saving into the database. So I've created the first method here called create book, and what this method does is to create a book. So essentially, if the client wants to save a book, they should be able to hit this endpoint and then save a book in our database. As you can see here, I have this parameter here, which is create book request. And what this does is capture the body that is sent from the client side. Let's take a look at what we have on this request. As you can see, I have a name and author of the book, and I've added another annotation here at value. This is from Lombok. And what this does is to be able to create getters and also a constructor. So I just have to add this annotation and everything will be added for me. All right, so now we have our request and method setup, and for simplicity, we're just going to return a string here. Now, as you can see at the top here, we do have at request mapping. We are going to create the URI. Here, what we need to do is to add the type of method that we are going to use in creating this book, which is post mapping. I'm using post mapping because we are passing a body and we want to capture that in this API. For this method, we don't need a request body because we just want to retrieve data. However, we require variable for the specific book that we want to retrieve, the ID of the book, and the method here will be get, and inside it we want to identify which book we want to retrieve. Here we already have /books, so what we need here is the ID. All right, and again, for simplicity, let's return a string here and then get the book with ID. Okay, and here let's check if we can also get the details of the book. All right, so we are ready, and let's run our application and see if we can be able to do these two operations. Okay, so our application is running. As you can see, I have my URL here, so localhost 8080 then /books. So if I use the method post, which is this here, so if I click send, as you can see, I'm getting created book with name now. So as you can see, we are not sending any body. That's why we are getting a null here. So let's head to the body part, and then we want to send the name and then the author. If we try again, as you can see, now we are getting the name of the book. Let's also try another method, which is get method. We are passing the ID. Let's use 1. As you can see, we are getting the book with ID of 1. This was a short tutorial to show you how you can use HTTP methods to create simple APIs, and there are other types of methods including patch and delete, which are commonly used, and we are going to tackle that in our next video. Thanks for watching this video up to the end, and see you on the next one. Bye.